All right, and we are here on this Owen Hart tribute celebration of Owen's life. And on the air with me, I have former WWE referee Jimmy Korderas. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Could be better, but of course, we've got to be happy on this broadcast. Is there any ribs, road stories, or memories that you would like to share with our listeners about Owen?
Well, he got me one time. We were at a hotel, and I can't exactly remember where it was, but I remember it was like 12:30, 1 o'clock at night, and, we just got back to the hotel, and it was late, and we just finished eating, and I got a call in my room telling me that my credit card had been rejected for some reason. And after a few minutes of arguing with this fellow on the phone, he suggested I come down to the front desk and straighten things out. So I, put on a pair of shorts and a T-shirt, and I head down to the front desk. And, of course, I get to the front desk, and they have no clue what I'm talking about. I said, well, you guys called me and said my credit card's not. And he said, no, sir, nobody called you. Found out the next day it was Owen. just yeah. Yeah. And the way I found out was, it was kind of like, hey, did you get a call last night saying that your credit card was no good? I said, yeah, how did you know? And he started with, well, they called me too, but,
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So he did get me. It was nothing malicious. It wasn't, it was good fun. I laughed about it. What are you going to do,
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff he did. He was not, like I said, he was not malicious with any of his ribs. His ribs were actually quite funny and hilarious and not harmful in any way. So,
now, if you could have the fans remember Owen for one thing, what would it be?
Just that he was probably one of the best guys you'll ever meet, inside and outside the business. It doesn't matter whether it was a wrestling business or just average Joe on the street. He was just that kind of guy. He was the kind of guy that, I dare someone to say anything, remotely bad about him, because no one has anything bad to say about him. He was just that good a guy, and it's I know it sounds very cliche, but that he really was. He really was a good guy who cared deeply about his wife and his family, and that's the thing I'm going to remember most about him.
Now, one other question I had for you is, is there anything that Owen said to you, during your run with WWE while he was there that really sticks in your head?
We've had a few conversations. We were very friendly with each other. He was very friendly with me, but probably the best advice he gave me was to make sure that I take care of my family, and that family always comes first. And I've always remembered that, and I'll never forget that he told me that.
After the horrible accident and the tragedy, it's really surreal going back and thinking about it just as a fan. But I can't even imagine what the thought was of, just the guys behind the ring and everything else like that. Did you guys even believe what was going on, or?
Yeah, of course, the initial reaction was shock. And for me, being in the ring, I just really was in a state of for lack of a better term, total confusion. Like I knew something was happening, and it how it doesn't clue in right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like you feel like it just, what the heck just happened here? And you're not really, it's almost like 100 things are rushing through your head, and you can't put any of it together. Everything seems so scrambled, and you don't know how to react, and you don't know what to do next. And that, unfortunately, that was my initial reaction. It was so, like you said, it was so surreal.
Yeah.
That, I at first didn't know how to react, and then it was just, after that, it was just, oh my God, please get somebody out there. Then you start to, it takes a while, but you start to clue in after a while. But like you said, the initial reaction was total confusion, not sure how to react and not sure what exactly had happened.
Yeah, it was tragic from all angles. I mean, I can only imagine how hard it was for everybody behind the scenes, but I mean, even for the fans when we realized, what was going on. But it's a good time to talk about, Owen. And I just was, curious about what your thoughts were during that moment, only because you were at the center right there. So
yeah. And I didn't find out till the next day that Jerry Lawler actually saw the I guess he said the last 15 feet or so of his fall.
Wow.
So he might be one of the few people who really knows what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not in terms of the accident, but as far as him, you know, as far as
right.
Owen hitting the ring and that sort of thing, which, like I said, I didn't see. So,
what was some of the most inspiring moments that you saw Owen do or perform over his career? I mean, it's no secret that he was really nice with everybody. Kids, he loved kids. What was one of the most heartwarming moments you remember about Owen?
The biggest thing was, no matter, it was just his attitude and the way he carried himself. It rubbed off on everybody. I mean, like, no matter what kind of a mood you were in, if it was one of those days where everybody was in, like, you know, just didn't feel like doing much, and, you know, he just lifted everybody around him. It was just, he had that kind of personality. And not only his in-ring work, which was fantastic, of course, but like I've been trying to say right now, is it was his total attitude. He just, you know, he just lifted everybody's spirits all the time. I mean, the way he carried himself.
Thank you very much from me. It's been a pure pleasure talking to you, Mr. Korderas.
Well, Jim, please. Yeah.
I would like to thank you for coming on and sharing these stories.
No, my pleasure. Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right, guys.